now when it comes to the jungle. And what? Yone as well being banned away.
What? Okay, so a lot of jungle bans all across the board. We're seeing the Aatrox, the Ekrim, the Shen, Kha'Zix. Lee Sin is open still, which I think KT.RY will be happy to prioritize. No, that got banned away as well. Nautilus pickup potentially for both sides as one of the junglers available. We also have the quote-unquote unorthodox, like the Fiddlesticks, but KT.RY will still have access to the Riven, which is basically what was played by KD in game number 1.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, G2 Blacklist could go for Camille and Riven just because they played it in the past. They could do it once again, but KT.RY just going in with a sneaky move and getting up the Riven instead.
What will be the pick here by KD? Brahmas, maybe? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, there's... Jace. Yeah, Jace is also one of the champions that has been played a lot by KD. But it's not something that we kind of expected in patch 4.4. See, just because the clear speed of Jace was pretty much nerfed, right? Like hardly. It was nerf hammered by Riot's balancing team. That was the reason why KD is showing reluctance in picking this up. But again, with the situation provided, there is pretty much no option for him at all. And now G2 Blacklist has a very pokey set of composition.
Yeah, and I like the answer back of KT.RY as well. They pick up the Ashe for themselves, right? So having the poke composition for G2 Blacklist, yes, they have so much damage. It's more towards the glass cannon composition as we call it, right? Because the thing is, Camille is not always going to be present when it comes to those team fights, especially coming into the early game. We're in across the board, it's going to be the jungle, the mid lane, the bottom laners that will be prioritizing when it comes to these rotations. So expectedly, it will only be Ornn who will be the front lines. So this will be very difficult, especially reaching that level 5 wherein Ashe now has axes, or Acrobat now has axes onto the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Yeah,
so lots of QSS also being open to the table of G2 Blacklist. One of the enchants that can really counter those long-range engages. So this is pretty much a different approach to the game this time by G2 Blacklist, right? In game number 3, we saw KD playing the all-in Yone, in-your-face champion, right? Like, I'm going to get myself into the backline and kill your carry. This time around, he's going to join the poke party. You do have the Ezreal, you do have the Zoe, and you do have the Jace. So, if KT.RY will lose patience and will put themselves in a position that they will get chunked in terms of health, G2 Blacklist will have the opportunity when it comes to those long, drawn-out team fights.
Yeah, and at this point, G2 Blacklist really just has to play it a bit more patiently, given how the draft is played out, right? You do not want to really just force out these fights, except if and only if Ornn gets a really good setup, or if their mid laner, Zoe, gets a good... Their draft is pretty much standard, right? They go in Ratel with the Gwen. They pretty much have Riven as their jungler, Ashe into the bottom lane, Lucian into the mid lane, and Gragas. So it's a very standard draft wherein they have a lot of utility built into their bottom laners, and they have kind of a self-sustaining top laner, jungler, and even mid laner at that point, just because it's a Lucian.
Yeah. And wow, what a start by KT.RY here, right? Like, they are to invade the jungle here by KD. They have no information that this is already being started unless Carl will be using the Scrying Bloom to get information that the jungle is already getting cleared. Golden Kite, oh, that's a very early flash being needed here by G2 Blacklist because of the aggression of KT.RY.
Yeah, so immediate massive advantage already for KT.RY, but now KD has been sought after by Luna. Gets the blue buff, but is being chased down by 3 members. Draw uses up the flash, knocks up onto Acrobat, but Acrobat and Zera just follows through with a flash of their own, and that will be the first blood by KT.RY.
The early game planning here by KT.RY is just so good, and that's a nightmare if you're a fan of G2 Blacklist. We talked about Jace being an early game oriented jungle champion, and he was basically denied of the opportunity to scale up the lane priority that was gifted over to KT.RY in the bottom lane allowed it so that KD will be punished in his counter invade. And that said and done, KT.RY is enjoying a very good lead in the first few minutes of the game.
Yeah, and there's just so much layers to that on how G2 Blacklist pretty much lost a huge chunk of what we could call that possibility of that snowball, right? Because the thing is, first things first, the enemy jungler, Daw, has a much more good time into farming a lot of these jungle camps. Second of which, blue buff went to Acrobat. Third of which, there's a gold injection to KT.RY. So there's just so much layer that G2B lost.
Yeah, perfect, right? Oh,
now, Carl in danger. Daw just pays a visit, and there's no hesitation at all for Ulster Y.
The plays by KT.RY has been close to perfect, and this is the way to start game number 4, especially with what happened in game number 3. And Aaron, oh no, solo kill.
Oh, that was so impressive. Luna,
that was so easy too, right? Like with the Lucian having the level advantage, getting to target down the very defenseless Zoe, and everything said and considered, is this all KT.RY in the first 3 minutes of this game.
Yeah, it's so good. It's not just a single lane that KT.RY has the advantage on. It's every single role, right?
Yeah.
Top side, it is Ratel's advantage. Jungle, Dog got a kill a while ago. G2 Blacklist lost the bottom lane priority, given that first blood to KT.RY already in the blue buff a while ago. So it's not looking that good when it comes to these early game plays for G2B.
Another engage here by KT.RY by Aaron. Quick to his feet, will be able to disengage. And the respect is provided here by KT.RY. They knew that KD was coming, and so the wiser play is to back away, but wow, what a start.
Yeah, definitely what a start. CP Trouble Bubble goes into 0, but once again, looking at the HP of Aaron, there is no opportunity for him to even go for that engage. And yes, he still has, you know, the paddle star. He could jump back into those fights, but one shot could delete him.
Yeah, playing with fire is Aaron here in the mid lane, but he's not enjoying the laning phase that he wanted, especially against one of the best lane bullies in the game in the Lucian. The Zoe is really having a problem. And now everything is, everything said and done. At 4 minutes, KT.RY is enjoying a 2k gold lead, so they will have the opportunity to use this advantage to get the potentially, 2 objectives at 5 minutes. And that's what we often see. You gift a team this massive advantage and they will convert it into something bigger. So that will definitely be into consideration right now. Carl needs to back away and clear this wave to reset back just in time for a potential team fight.
Yeah, and G2 Blacklist pretty much has the trade objective. If ever KT.RY goes for the Herald or otherwise the Drake, G2B has to go for the other one instead. They couldn't fight. Yeah.
It's all about going for the trade, but they will be meeting with each other here in the Rift Herald. KT.RY will at least respect the early game burst damage of G2 Blacklist and will leave the Rift Herald for themselves.
Yeah, the knockback will not connect onto 0. Wow, the explosive cast along with that body slam was good. And right now, all ultimates already invested onto 0 as well. There's just no escaping that. Every single stacked upon himself. Now G2B puts up Shelly into the mid lane, gets a tower first blood.
Yeah, and the Dragon was 1-for-1 trade. But you look at the other sides of the map, right? Like the top side. By himself, the Lucian was able to get a tower, and that's a lot of tower plays, a lot of gold for KT.
But definitely, G2 Blacklist with a 4-man rotation into the bottom side of the map. Ratel is in danger already, and the knockoff is there. And Carl follows through, not even enough to finish him. And Daw answers back, the stun connected onto Ezreal. And now G2 Blacklist lost their bottom laner.
Perfectly placed knockup. Daw gets the return kill, and KT.RY not yet done. 0, I believe, does have the explosive cask still for another engage, and he's making his presence felt right here, right now. Some plays being done here by G2 Blacklist, but every single time KT.RY has an answer.
KT.RY. And we've mentioned this, right? Coming into these early phases, yes, expectedly, G2 Blacklist has that advantage given the fact that they have the Jace in their favor, but it's a glass cannon composition. And now, once again, KT.RY answers with an Enchanted Crystal Arrow, securing draw from a mid lane gank.
Yeah, it was a heavily exposed support. The combo of the Ashe and the explosive cast of Zero has been so on point. Carl, another solo kill moment, this time by Luna. Wow, what a performance by KT.RY in game number 4.
Yeah, from a 2k gold lead, it doubled coming into 7 minutes. 4k gold lead already for KT.RY, and it's a huge, massive deficit right now that G2 Blacklist has to face.
Right, and now KT.RY wants the tower in the mid lane. Zero going in.
Dashes in, body stamps onto Aaron as well, being ignited away, and KT.RY just went through unscathed. Who brought down the tier 1 turret of mid lane.
Oh, Luna almost got clipped by the Call of the Forge guy, but yeah, a little bit too late. G2 Blacklist again had to surrender another objective here in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Golden Kite getting attached onto by Rattel, needing to flash away his Golden Kite. Really no positive point for G2 Blacklist outside of the Ezreal. Carl
being caught up in a pinch, explosive cast as well, isolated with Luna's damage into the early game. There's just nothing that could really stop that.
That's a back-to-back solo kill here in the bottom lane. Not really a solo kill, right? But a back-to-back kill by Delusion against the Camille. So yeah, right, like KT.RY, it's all about them recognizing that they have the advantage, and they're already planting their vision towards the red quadrant. Luna.
Oh! CP Trouble Bubble connect along with the True Shot. Barrage battle start to the face, and that will be Aaron taking a kill. Followed up by the other, and G2 Blacklist got 2 kills from that.
What a pick by Aaron, and that was pretty much the needed break here by G2 Blacklist. 2 bodies down, and KT.RY, Acrobat getting hit.
CP Trouble Bubble, but an Enchanted Crystal Arrow was perfect timing coming in from Acrobat to deny the crowd control from Draw.
Oh.
Now Aaron followed up.
Another bubble.
CP Trouble Bubble connects onto Riven. Jace with a shock pass to the face. Once again, raw damage. And G2 Blacklist now on the precipice to be able to make it back, but still on 2k gold deficit at the moment.
Aaron has hit like 3 Trouble Bubbles in a row, allowing G2 Blacklist to get 3 kills in return, and that was pretty much what was needed by G2 Blacklist to cut down the lead to half. What a performance so far by Aaron, right? Finding the picks in the mid game and allowing himself and his team the opportunity to come back. The good thing for KT.RY was that they were still able to defend the tower here in the bottom lane, so there's still no objective converted with those shutdown kills that G2 Blacklist was able to get.
Yeah, and on top of that, Aaron already has Luden's Echo, so that burst damage is going to be hefty up against KT.RY, but right now, KT.RY starting up the Ocean Drake, and G2 Blacklist is aware.
Yeah. Now the Dragon is being started. G2 Blacklist wants to deny this. Rattel?
Aaron jumps in, looking into the bottom side. Rattel jumps onto KT, and the jungler is gone for G2 Blacklist. It's a free Ocean Drake here for KT.RY, and G2 Blacklist still forcing out the engage, and Rattel died. CP Trouble Bubble connected onto Gragas as well. True Shot Barrage connected right out of the get-go, and Golden Kite being so confident, jumps through into the Dragon Spit, and Carl followed up so cleanly from that. Golden Kite still on the chase. Acrobat running away, but will be able to go back to retreat under the turret, but Aaron was just so close, within inches of taking the kill onto Acrobat.
Aaron is playing out of his mind right now, allowing G2 Blacklist to find all those kills, to slow down and cut down the lead to just 400 gold. Let's look at that replay once again. KT got caught. This is one of the weaknesses of the Jace, right? You don't have a way to disengage. There's really not enough mobility right then and there. And the retaliation here by G2 Blacklist was allowed by the fact that G2B was hitting their skill shots. That True Shot Barrage hitting 3 targets in a row for Golden Kite was a beauty. And Aaron again, the marksman, never misses his kill shot.
Yeah, G2 Blacklist, the marksman coming in, Aaron was just too good. And despite having 1 HP pretty much, he was so confident jumping in and getting those paddle star hits and CP Trouble Bubble, which is pretty much the game changers here for G2B prior to those fights.
Yeah, that was a 4v5 situation to begin with, but Aaron single-handedly was able to turn around the team fight just from his sleepy trouble bubbles that connects from afar away. Oh man, I know we don't use basketball references, at least in this game, quite often, but that was definitely Steph Curry range, right? All those sleepy trouble bubbles from afar away, from a mile away, hitting its mark. Aaron is definitely the shooter that is needed here by G2B.
Yeah, it was just too good. Every single time those sleepy trouble bubbles like magnet, it always connects on the KT.RY, and it's unfazing of the current prowess of RY, given how much advantage they got coming into the early game, mid game. Now it's brought down to pretty much nothing.
Yep. The threat for KT.RY though is still on, right? They still have a win condition, and that is the Dragon Soul. If they ever secure this, oh, Aaron, another bubble!
Oh. He just never miss. Aaron never miss. And now Draw goes in, Call to Forge God, forces out the QSS as well for Acrobat to be able to return unscathed. True Shot Barrage connects onto Zero, and G2 Blacklist opting to go in and pushes back KT.RY.
Yeah. Right now, G2 Blacklist is just feeling confident right now. They know that the momentum is on their side, right? But they still have to remember that they have to play the macro side of things. They will be sending Carl onto the bot lane to answer the budding wave here in the bottom lane. They still have to be careful, but Aaron is here. Another bubble, maybe? Okay, he misses.
Too far.
That's like one of the rare misses that we've seen from Aaron in this game. What a game.
Yeah. It's just a massive distance, and this is the big thing about G2 Blacklist's draft. We mentioned this quite a bit coming into the drafting phase of G2 Blacklist and KT.RY, that when it comes to these glass cannon competitions wherein Jace, Zoe, Ezreal, and Ornn cannot sustain themselves all throughout a team fight. So that is where Carl really has to come through, and when Carl started to come into those team fights, it is where it turned things around. It is where G2 Blacklist was able to really go hand-to-hand combat up against KT.RY.
Yeah, the beauty about the Camille is that even if the laning phase goes south, the Hextech Ultimatum will still have its value. And you don't really need farm to be that impactful, right? Like, you can leave the damage on towards the Jace, the Ezreal, the Zoe. You can just be the settler for the team, allowing for the primary champions to really get the resources needed. Now Aaron, another bubble connects, this time to Daw.
An opening, and Daw is already CC'd, crown control to the ground. Zero is down low already. Along with the Ignite will not tick him down to his death, but that will be an HP advantage for G2 Blacklist to start up the Drake.
Yeah, this is the dragon that they need to deny from KT.RY.
Coming into the back, going in for the Drake. G2 Blacklist still takes it down. And now KT.RY wants to answer back, but it's a 5v4.
Zero.
And Carl goes in with extra ultimatum already onto Zero. And going into the backside, it's Ratel. And that will beat it down to G2 Blacklist as KT is already down low. The answer back of KT.RY is so good. And now Golden Kite and Aaron is the ones left standing for G2B. Aaron never missed.
He doesn't. He's a marksman. He always goes for the shot, and he never misses. G2 Blacklist was able to deny the dragon, but more importantly, that was still a win for KT.RY. That was Ratel finding himself in the perfect opportunity to really snip them away. Look at Ratel, right? Like, he's in front of everybody, and he can just dish out a huge amount of damage, targeting down KD. And everyone followed through. Aaron, by the way, just missed, or just was able to dodge away from the arrow. That was a very timely flash as well by Aaron. But man, oh man, what a team fight here by G2B and KT.RY. What a game number 4 so far.
Yeah, what a game, definitely. And G2 Blacklist, nevertheless, even if they lost that team fight, they had to go for the Drake. Because if KT.RY got that, it's already the soul. And G2 Blacklist doesn't want to give it away.
Yeah, nope. That's a perfect win condition, especially with the ISO, right? Like more ability haste being gifted over to the Lucian, and the Ash will just mean the disaster. Will just mean the death or the loss of G2 Blacklist. And G2 Blacklist, again, staying true in denying that 50-50 win by DAW. Now the opportunity is still on for both sides to actually win this, right? Like they still have a very good team overall. The long-range engage from KT.RY is still very formidable. They do have the double marksman composition, a very good carry in DAW and the Riven as well. And G2 Blacklist, it's all about the pokes. If their pokes connect, if Aaron hits his mark, it's just good night. It's just game over for KT.RY.
Oh, those enchanted crystal arrows are really scary and something to be feared for from far away, especially how Rattel has been fed. Like, look at the level difference between the Baron laners. It's level 13 up against a level 15. If those ECA connects, it's over for Carl.
Yeah, the snip is continuing to be a problem for G2 Blacklist, and now they have to deal with a problem that they did not face in games 1 and 3, right? Rattel starting to become a threat in the side lane. It's continuing to push. Oh, DAW!
It's DAW who's just going through, and that was just be Aaron with a CP triple bubble once again.
Now Rattel will be able to spot out Carl. Long range engage.
Knocks up onto Zero, along with Acrobat as well. Forces out the Stasis Enchant. But Zero is going to live with a flash beam. Burnt out. The Ignite takes him down. Or, well, will not be able to do that. As that will be Zero still living within a couple of HP left standing from that state.
Okay, alright. So this is an intense moment.
It's definitely Rattel having such a massive advantage into that.
And G2 Blacklist was able to get a tower for free. Nothing KT.RY can do there. But G2 Blacklist is going to be spotted on a ward. They're trying to back away Luna. Starting the Elder Dragon, the action continues. The wave is pushing in the bottom lane. And KT.RY has recognized that as a fact. They will be sending over the Camille to answer and respond to that pushing wave in the bot lane. And again, the poking game continues. Whoever misses his mark first, or whoever loses his patience in this battle of attrition, will definitely end up losing this pivotal game number 4.
Yeah, and KT.RY has to really connect those enchanted crystal arrows, because this will be pretty much their investment into these poke damage leaders for G2 Blacklist. So if that's not gonna happen, it's not looking that good for KT.RY.
Yeah, G2 Blacklist and KT.RY half health on the Elder.
Half health already. Rattel is occupied with Carl, so this is pretty much a 4v4 Ultra Athletes Elder Drake fight. 5k HP remaining, but KT is just on the horizon. Enchanted Crystal Arrow connects onto the bot side, and that will be Rattel who's having that fight up against Carl. Hook shots back away, will be coming back into safety. But now it's Rattel going into the back lines once again. From what we have emphasized, if Rattel is in a good position, that is over for G2B. And Aaron is down low once again. The zoning capabilities of Rattel just pushed them back. KT's gone. No jungler left standing for the likes of G2B. And now this will be a free Elder Drake with Carl, the only one left standing. KT.RY erases G2 Blacklist.
The perfect team fight needed by KT.RY, starting it off with an enchanted crystal arrow connecting onto
backdoor. Nexus is open, going in for the flash. The Nexus will not fall. 260 HP remaining, and G2 Blacklist will not succeed into that. But looking at the opposite side, KT.RY going for the base race. However, it's Carl who wants to carry down the wave. Luna with a calling as well deletes him. The HP is gone. The Nexus is open, and KT.RY wants to end it. And this will be KT.RY winning game 4.
We are dead even. 2 wins apiece. And we are down back to a best of 3 scenario here. Infinity, what a team fight by KT.RY.